Hello. Today I'm going to show you how to do this worksheet that I left for you, and I want to explain it. Hopefully it'll make sense, and then you're going to create some of your own music. So there are a couple of rules for this one, and the first thing is that you're going to start by drawing a treble clef. Now I am not judging you here, so you're going to take your magic wand and you're going to do your best. Remember, you can start with a J, and then a P, and then you come around with a curly Q, like that. Okay? Next, it says, use the rhythm that's above each measure. So you're actually going to use this exact, like the 4 quarter notes and the half note. You're not going to change any of that, but you are going to choose the notes that you want to play. So for instance, I'm going to pretend I'm a saxophone. And I have, of course, do, re, mi, fa, so, the 5 notes that I can use for this, the notes that we know in the book. And I can choose any of those. Now I'm going to start with do, just because as a music person I know that a piece of music should actually start and end with do in this case, but if you want to try something different, it's okay. So the saxophone's do is G, so I'm going to draw very carefully a note on the G line, except that it needs to be a quarter note. So I need to turn this into a quarter note. I'm going to fill it in. Ooh, I'm good. And then I'm going to add my stem. Okay, so there's my first note. And then I'm just going to keep choosing notes. Maybe I want the next one to be the same note. Maybe I want it to jump or skip. Maybe I just want it to move up by steps. Part of this is that you're going to be able to play this at the end. So if you do it too hard, then you might not be able to play it. So think about your own skills. And the other thing is, I want to write it so that somebody else can play my music, another saxophone player, because I'm a saxophone player right now. So if I were to draw my G and kind of draw it like that, somebody might not really know what that is. You want to make it super, super obvious, okay? Like, think of an old person like me. Like our little old lady, except that now she can't hardly see anything. So make it really, really clear. So I'm going to do my next note. And again, it needs to be a quarter note. Okay, you'd have to disregard that. I'm using marker, so I can't erase it. So if you do have an eraser and you make a mistake, please make sure you erase it so that the person can read it. So I've got this note and then this note, and I'm just going to keep going up. Now for the saxophones, their stems go up and they go down. And where it goes down starts right here. Okay, so saxophones have to know both parts. The flutes, all your stems go down for now, and for the clarinets, all your stems go up. So saxophones have to be able to do both. So I've got, for the saxophones, a G, an A, a B, and I'm just going to keep going up to a C. Okay, so I've got 4 quarter notes. I've just chosen the name of the note. Okay, so this is the length of the note, the rhythm, the quarter notes, but I chose which note to place there. Okay, now I need to do a half note. I'm going to do the note B for saxophone. And a half note, remember, is not colored in, and it has a stem. Now I'm going to put my half rest, even though it's up here, go ahead and place it down here. It's in the middle, like a little hat. Okay, so I've made my half rest. And then I've got 2 half notes, 2 quarter notes, and a half note, so I can just keep writing whatever notes I think should fit in there. And while you're writing, you can also play it a little bit. I mean, play it quietly and see if it sounds good, and if it doesn't sound good, then pick a different note. Now, like I said, because I'm a musician, I know that my last note, my very last note, should probably be do, because it makes it sound like it's the end of the song. So in this case, I know that I would end on a G half note. For the flutes, of course, it would be a B flat half note, and for the clarinets, it would be a C half note. And just a couple quick reminders, clarinets and flutes. Flutes, if I'm pretending now I'm a flute player, make sure that when you do your flats, that you do your flat to the left of the note. I know that seems strange because we say B flat, but in music we read it left to right, so it goes flat B. So you could say flat B, but musicians call it B flat, and then they just know that the flat comes first. Okay, so when you're using B flats and E flats, make sure you do that. Clarinets, it's very important for you guys, if you're doing a C or a D, a C has to have that extra ledger line. Otherwise, I don't know where your note is. So you may need to make it look like Saturn if you're going to use a C. Then in this case, it's a half note, so I'm going to draw my stem. So clarinets, just make sure you're really clear that it's not just out there floating in space, okay? If you drew something like this, I wouldn't know what that was, because there's no other line, so it's not a C, but it's not a D either, because a D dangles, okay? So if I were drawing a D, I'd want it to dangle from that bottom line, okay? Now this is all messy because it's all sorts of different instruments kind of crammed into one, but that's the idea, is that you're going to be able to create this and then be able to play it. So down here, you're going to write your name, and I don't know how long this is going to take. Maybe it'll take most of the class period for you to come up with your song. Maybe it'll only take 10 minutes, I don't know. You want to make it sound good, of course. And then you're going to find someone from your own instrument group. So I know some groups, like the saxophones in the first hour and the flutes in the second hour, you don't have too many people to share with, so you can kind of share together. But you're going to play your song for someone, and then they are going to try to play your song too. So if John Jacob Jingleheimer is you, John Jacob Jingleheimer, and then you had Santa Claus play your song, okay, that would be who plays your song. So that person can kind of give you feedback, like maybe they say, well, I wasn't really sure what you meant here, or that's supposed to be a quarter note, but you didn't fill in the circle, or it's supposed to be a half note and you filled it in, and it's not supposed to be filled in for a half note, that kind of thing. So take your time, make it sound beautiful. We're going to be doing more of this as the year goes on, and possibly even for the Christmas concert, so you guys are kind of getting a little head start on writing music. So please, please, please make sure that it's really, really clear for that, mostly deaf, partially blind, apparently, old lady that we always have inside our classroom that we're trying to tell our notes to. Yeah, now you gotta, show her what notes you're trying to play here. Okay? I hope you guys have a fabulous Friday and a wonderful weekend. And of course, I'm going to get no complaints from your sub, because I don't want to hear any. And of course, you're going to be perfect angels. So please take some time with us, and I can't wait to hear what you guys created. All right, bye.